So I always do the same injection, the same place every time. And that, just, if there is any reaction, I know what it is that's causing it. Now, we're gonna see if she'll.
She's got the long.
I noticed.
Hi everyone, welcome to Being Youthful. I am Kim Beegler. I'm the owner of Ewethful Fiber Farm and Mill. I'm sitting here in the mill and I did a little introduction with the alpaca to start out this vlog. It's gonna be a short one because honestly, you guys, I put so much video and stuff on my phone that I don't even have that much room left, and we have dumped my phone so many times. So we're gonna keep it shorter, plus we all have lots of things to do. So I hope you enjoyed the alpaca intro. The alpaca doctor came since the last time I was here, so we recorded a little bit. I'm actually going to do a little video on how to trim their feet that he did. Him and Mitch worked on a little video for people that are wanting to learn how to trim basically camelid feet. So that'll be on a separate video because it's very specific and very short, but in case you were wondering. Anyway, if you are new to joining me, thank you for joining me. And I talk about all things wool, just a lot of wool. Fiber animals, processing wool, hand spinning wool, yarn. And if you're returning, thank you. Thank you so much for coming back. Okay, what things do I have to talk about? I have a few more alpaca videos, I think, assuming I didn't put them all up front. You never know what I'm gonna do, but I wanted to point out one thing. One of the videos is very short and it's just me trying to, basically we have to harness the alpacas up in between to get them tied in. The alpacas do not love this, my alpacas especially. We don't handle them a ton. They're basically pasture animals that we use their fiber for some, and otherwise they just get to live out a wonderful life. So 3 times a year they have to get handled, and they're not the biggest fans of it. Alpaca in general are not super people-oriented animals, but mine are less so. You know, I mean, one of them will take a scritch here and there, and other than that. So it's not their favorite thing, but it's for their health, so you got to do it. Anyway, I'm using a little maneuver where I'm putting the leash around one's neck while the other one is still harnessed because they tend to bunch together. And so it's the easiest way to catch the next one for doing vaccines and deworming. So anyway, just interesting. You'll also notice that I have a white paste on my face at that point, and that's because one of the alpaca got dewormed and then promptly spit directly up into my face. And in case you're wondering, it smells like bubblegum. I was like, what's the problem, girls? I don't understand. This seems perfectly fine. So it smells like those fluoride treatments that you get as a kid and you can get the bubblegum flavor. I'm like, no problem here. Anyway, before I forget, something fun and new that is on my website. You can go to the website in the Wool School section, current offerings. I'll put a link below, of course, too, but I made a virtual online tour of the mill. So I share lots of videos here on YouTube, but this is actually me walking step by step through. Mitch recorded it. We turned machines on. I talk about what they do and how it affects the process. So if you want to check it out, I think it's maybe 15 minutes or so. Go to my website, go to the Wool School section, current offerings, and you can sign up to get, it'll just email you a link to watch the video. I will also put a link to it down in the show notes for this episode. So super fun. I hope you enjoy it and give you a little bit better understanding of how the process works step by step instead of in little snippets as I do here on the vlog. So, newsletter. I wanted to mention to you guys, if you're not on the newsletter, jump on the newsletter. I send one out once a week. It has usually a quick tip, which I hope is helpful for people. And it also tells you what's going on, and it tells you the new fibers and stuff that I have just put on the website. It's the first place that you get information on the products that go, and sometimes they're gone after the newsletter people get them. So if you have spun my fibers and you like them or you like our yarns, sign up for the newsletter because that's where you get first dibs basically to get in. I try to save some for you guys here on the vlog. It doesn't always time out though. So get on the newsletter. Get on the newsletter. I'll put a link basically anywhere on our website. You can get on the newsletter. So I have Wish on my lap because this is the cat she is. She's literally the most affectionate cat we have. And just to let you all know, Wish and I did our first nail trim together. I trimmed her nails. She was basically a gem, and life is better for both of us. She doesn't have to go to the vet as often to get her nails trimmed, and I don't have to get everything shredded because she just makes donuts all day. She's just baking and baking and baking and baking on me whenever she gets a chance. So anyway, kudos to Wish. Okay, so let's talk about fiber, shall we? Texel. I'm going to talk about Texel wool because it was the monthly subscription fiber for my fiber club this last month. And so I thought I'd talk about it for a minute. And I wanted to show you a picture. Again, this is from the Field Guide to Fleece, but I'll go ahead and take my hand off of the picture. But you can see they are very sheepy sheep, right? They're kind of your standard looking sheep. They don't have any wool on their head. They don't have wool on their legs. There they are. They mainly come in white. I believe there is a blue, I think it's called a blue Texel, and then that's going to be like a gray color, but I don't think that's quite as common. No, I know that's not quite as common. Generally, and for commercial purposes, white sheep are where it's at because white can be dyed. I think I've talked about this before, but any commercial and textiles, I should say, are primarily grown for meat, similar to the Suffolk that I've been talking about, but not similar at all as far as wool. But they are mainly grown for meat. Their wool is kind of a secondary thing, not to from whom I bought all this wool from, but generally speaking. And when you have commercial sheep and the wool is a byproduct, you want white wool because the wool market already is pretty low. Colored wool is not going to sell, the reason being that they can't consistently dye it and have the colors came out the same. So if you throw anything else in there other than white, you're not going to be guaranteed that same color when it's dyed, and most commercial wools are dyed. So anyway, primarily white sheep. Sorry, that is a very loud truck going by. Okay, this wool came from a farm called Distracted Acres out of Yamhill, Oregon. I met her at a festival years ago, and I managed to keep her business card because I had worked with a Texel cross a few years before that and fell in love with it. So I was so excited to finally find the card, get in touch with her, and get wool. So I'm going to tell you that this is some of the most fantastic wool as far as beautiful fleeces, low VM. I didn't have to do any skirting. She brought it to me. She got a tour of the mill with her friend, but she brought it to me. I was able just to open up bags, put it straight into the washer. Okay, and they were just stunning fleeces, absolutely stunning. So here is some Texel that is unwashed. It's really beautiful stuff. It's a little bit dark in here, guys. Sorry, it's kind of a dark Oregon day and it's getting darker. Because I had to go get some Mexican food with my mom. You gotta do what you gotta do. So there it is. And then she actually includes this with all the fleeces, what it looks like washed. Isn't that pretty amazing? So it's got a really wavy crimp to it, but it does have a pretty uniform crimp, most of them. Now, not all the fleeces are looking exactly the same, but so here we go, dirty. Here we go, clean. You can see how lovely it cleans up. Those really distinct crimps in it. The staple length for this was like 3 to 4 inches. You guys, it spins so beautifully, in fact, that I have 2 people in Fiber Club that contacted me about sweater quantities. So they both got sweater quantities of this wool. One of the things, once it's spun up, is it's going to have a really good stitch definition to it. So it's going to be great for doing something like a cabled sweater or something. Whereas the Suffolk that I was talking about before, that down breed, it's not going to be quite as good for stitch definition because it has so much bloom to it and it has so much stretch to it. This does have a nice amount of stretch to it too, but it's nothing like the down. And once I finish hand spinning, I'm going to show you guys the difference because I know I'm going to show you here. I have some hand spun because so here it is hand spun up. I know, guys, I have my light on, so it's a little weird, but it's spinning up like a dream. Another reason people wanted sweater quantities, right? When you find something that spins up like a dream and you love the yarn it's creating, it just makes the whole thing easier. So here's my first bobbin. I'm almost done with my second. As soon as I ply it, so next episode, I'm going to show you the comparison because I know if you're just a non-hand spinner, or even if you're a hand spinner, you're like, that looks exactly like the Suffolk that you showed us the other time on the bobbin. I understand. But once we ply this out and show them side by side, there's going to be a pretty big difference in how they handle. I should say there is more of this fiber left, so if you like it, I have multiple versions, always with the train. I guess a lot of trains come through here and I'm just not aware. Anyway, I'll show you the multiple versions in a minute, but a little more about Texel. So Texel is, it's basically a cross of Lincoln sheep, and I'm pretty sure we've talked about Lincoln, and Leicester longwool sheep. I don't think it actually has like a character standard that it goes into. Like there's long wools, there's down breeds, there's all I think it's just like an other sheep is how they consider some of these sheep. It was originally came out of the Netherlands area and has made its way here, as many things do. So the microns tend to be mid 20s to mid 30s. Now, everybody that has spun this agrees that it could most likely be worn next to skin, depending, of course, how you spin it up, but it could be next to skin. It definitely could be a sweater, a hat, mittens, all those things. So depending on how you spin it and what your comfort level is with wool, it could be next to skin, but like I said, there's going to be a couple sweaters made out of it, which I'm excited about, and I will be sure to show you what those finished sweaters look like. It takes dye well, which I will show you in a minute. Basically, it's just a wonderful all-around wool, and this wool was exceptionally grown. So there's a little bit about Texel, another breed that I think is severely underrated given what a stunning, stunning wool that they create. So I'm going to show you, you can imagine probably what the natural white looks like, but here's one. And if you've been looking on my Instagram, you have seen, holy cow. So this is dyed up in a color called berry. It's pretty berry-y. It is absolutely stunning. I did some videos on Instagram and on YouTube with it coming off the carder and then me doing a little hand spin with it. Spins beautifully as I expected. And there's that. I have it labeled as Texel berry. And then, hold for just a second. I have to get up without knocking Wish off, of course. Here's what just came up. This is spruce. I've done other wools in this color and it always goes quickly. It's my dream color. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's one of my dream colors. So these are the two colors that are dyed up in the Texel currently, and then there's the natural white too. So you could always get it, spin it up yourself and dye it out, always an option. Other fleeces or other wool, I should mention, that is available in the online shop now, very limited quantities. The Texel, there is a small amount. There's maybe a pound or so of each at this point. I did, and you'll see some videos, I did one of my sheep, Andy, obviously a Shetland. He is always a favorite. He's got this lovely, she's nipping on me to tell me to pet her more. He has got this lovely, it cards out as a lovely light oatmeal color, and that all sold, except I kept one aside. I can't always promise to do this, but I kept one. I think I have about 6 ounces or so left. I'm gonna put the last 6 ounces up tonight, so whoever wants it can run and grab it. It's next to skin soft when you spin it. He's got lovely, lovely, lovely fiber. He's a bit of a jerk. He knows it. He knows his fiber is good. There is the Texel. There is some more Suffolk that I just put up in a natural, or just in the natural white color. And I'm about to card up a really stunning brown Jacob. So the Jacob will get restocked here pretty soon, all in one color, but it's really a beautiful brown. So that's what's been updated as far as fiber on the website. I did want to show you, did I have them? Yes. In addition, in the Fiber Club, I had to show you these cute little, look at these little tins they got. Oh my gosh. These are from, I think it's Twice Sheared Sheep. I will put it here and I'll put a link to them, but aren't they adorable? Look at the little fox in the yarn. This alpaca kills me, the bubble. Anyway, so those were cute too. They got a fun little box. Okay, fibers, we talked about alpaca, we talked about lots of things. Oh, the giveaway. So the giveaway is going to be, I don't know, you guys, it's going to be fiber. or yarn. It's going to be fiber or yarn that is from the Ewethful Mill. How's that? It's going to be a surprise to you, whatever it is, but it's going to be glorious, I promise. So it'll either be a skein of yarn or 4 ounces of fiber, whatever it comes to, whatever you prefer, whoever the winner is. So to enter, just comment below, but I have a lead for you, but you don't have to comment if you aren't a knitter or if you just have no ideas. Just comment anything below, but I could use your help. So I thought this could be fun. So I have these 2 yarns, and they're not going to show up, of course, as well as I want them to given the dark, but this is a lovely sort of a light brown. That might be a little better. This is a fin wool that I actually hand spun. So this is some of my hand spun. This is, it is called Aaron Moore by the Fiber Company. So some of you may, it's kind of like a light minty green. There's little pops in it. I would like to do a project with these 2 things together, but I don't know what to do. In my head, it's calling for a little bit of brioche. I say that having only knit 1 brioche thing in my life, and it was in the round, so be kind. But if you have ideas, please comment below of what I could knit up with this. Obviously, I could do some color work or some stripes with it. I have no idea how much yardage I have, so let me just throw you a guess. This is 175 yards. I'm going to say this is about 300 yards. They are, I'm going to assume Aaronish weight. Worsted weight, somewhere in there. So if you have any patterns that you love that are 2 colors that you think would be fantastic for this, please comment below with the pattern name and the designer name. That would be amazing. Amazing. Share the wealth, right? And then everybody who's watching, you can go look too and get some ideas if you're looking for something to do. So comment below by end of day Tuesday next week. Sorry, my heater's gonna kick on. It is chilly here today. We've been a little bit warmer, but now it's dry and cold. It's kind of how it goes here. So, okay, I am going to cut to, I think a little more alpaca, unless I showed it all in the beginning, but I don't think so. They're very short clips, but I just wanted to give you an idea. I thought it was fun because you can really see the alpaca interacting with us, which they're like, but they get very interested, and also how they interact with each other. They're very, like the sheep, when we shear the sheep, we can shear one, pop it out the door, next one, pop it out the door, and they slowly, the alpaca, no. The alpaca, one goes, you let it off, you grab the other one, they stay in the same space, you don't let anybody go, because the alpaca will freak out, and you do not need a freaking out alpaca while you're trying to do vet stuff to them. So as soon as one's off, we unharness it, we keep it in the same space, and then we move on to the next alpaca. So you can really see how they interact with each other and with us as we're doing this step. And then I've got a bunch of mill videos of me carting up some of this fun stuff. So I will be back in a minute to say goodbye. Until then, enjoy the videos.
You're doing a good job.
If I can get my, if I can get her. He's like, I'm gonna sit on you before you even. I know, man.
Good job.
There's a
Good job.
Oh, okay.
Now, let me see.
There is actually another harness.
Dewormer. So it's a product designed for horses. It has vitamin A, it has zinc, and it has some fatty acids from soy. And it's a good, for a show horse, people use it to add a little shine to the coat. But I think it's a pretty good product, to use as a vitamin A and zinc for your skin. Super 14 is the name.
I haven't been giving them minerals because I bought that expensive alpaca mineral and they didn't even touch it.
So again, I think it's a good idea to have free choice meat, phosphorus at 6 to 12%, and then some selenium in it as well.
And the goat should be fine with all that too.
Yep. No, it should be
Now
fine.
that we don't have the sheep around them.
And I would get, I'm gonna move this post.
Yes, we will.
Because
All kinds of obstacles.
knock that.
Hard to be the brave one in the crew.
There you go, kid.
Hard to be the brave one in the crew.
And you're right, they don't eat a lot. You know, the people would say max intake might be half an ounce a day. but I still have it available for them.
Alright, well maybe I'll order. I ordered that one that, I'm sure you know, the one that's specifically made for alpacas.
Stillwater.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are carding up the last batch of wool, and this is the Texel, the last batch of Texel, I should say. And I have it just different fleeces, so I just kind of have mixed it together the whole time. And we're gonna pick this out so that the carder has a nice easy time of doing its job. And I basically just grab a big hunk and I open it up a little bit, mostly so it just doesn't get caught up in there. You don't have to do much because that's its job, is to open it up. And this is a pretty lofty wool, so it's not needing me to open it a whole bunch. But you get kind of bored if you're just standing here, and then I can pick out if I see a piece of VM or anything, and I'll grab another bunch, and then we'll go look to see how it looks coming out. Always the fun part. Okay, let's go check it out. So it goes in the machine there, and here it is coming flying out. And it just plops it out onto the ground in there. Nice and opened up and ready for the picker. Sorry, the carder. Hi everyone. So I am here at the carder. I'm gonna turn it on since I've got the microphone on, and hopefully it's going to work. And I am just carding up the last of the Texel wool, which is from January's Fiber Club. And it is a dream to work with. I'll tell you that, not just to spin it, but also washing it and carding it up. All of it is wonderful. And you can see I'm basically filling in between these blue lines here. And I'm doing about 3.5 ounces per feed to get the roving that I want. It makes the roving nice and consistent if I weigh it out, and yes, makes it nice and consistent. So let's go over to the other side and see how it is turning out. So we'll wander over and let's see how beautiful this is. There's some in the bin there. Here it is coming out. It is really spectacular. I could not have asked for it to card up any better, and it spins like a dream. We were talking about it in our Fiber Club meetup on Zoom, and everybody that had spun it agreed, and there are a couple sweaters that will one day make their way into the world from this. So okay, let's carry on. Okay guys, so here we are again at the carder. I'm showing you this lovely, this is Shetland from my dear Shetland, Andy. And he's got a beautiful oatmeal color, and I'm just getting ready to card him. And I was having some concerns because, not concerns, but he's got very long fiber, because I only shore him, a bunch of my sheep I only shore once this year. And usually I shear twice a year, but I've decided to switch it up. So these fibers, when they go through the picker, they just don't look that great because they're so long. They just kind of crimp up when they go through, and they get a little more caught up in the roller. But I am happy to say that it is, and I thought it was, but I had to do a little test run just to make sure. So I picked a little bit of it, started carding it, and now we're here carding it, and it will get quite caught up in the machine, but you can kind of see there's a little bit caught. It just, the fibers are so long that sometimes they get just wrapped into the machine. But we'll come to the end here and you can see that it is carding up beautifully. Beautifully. I'm so excited, always excited about his fiber. He's probably about 6 years old now, and he just every time puts out stunning fiber. So there will be some of this, a small amount, in the online shop. So if you are interested in it, go grab some up. Okay, you guys, are you ready for this color? So I dyed this up. This is Texel. I dyed this up with a color called Berry. So it's kind of a magenta-y, pinky purple. I don't want to say pink because I don't want to scare you guys, but it is so pretty. And I can't wait for a chance to spin it here in a minute because, of course, I'm going to pull a little sample and spin a little bit of it. But the Texel I know is already gorgeous to spin, so I know this is going to be amazing. So let's take a peek as it is coming off the carder. Are you guys ready for this? Stop it. Can you even with that? Holy cow. Gotta push it in here. If that doesn't make you so happy, I don't know. I don't know what will. It's a pretty good representation of the color too. So if you like it, be quick because I did not make much of this. Okay, let's move on to the next color. Okay guys, here we are with one more color coming off, and this again is the Texel. It's all ready to go. This is like the me color of the world, so if all could look like this, I would be a happy camper. So I've got it all lined up here because this really is the fun part. So let's go ahead and see what kind of magic it's gonna work. Yep. Pretty beautiful. Oh, wool in my throat. Okay, hopefully you guys are happy with all those fun videos. Okay, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. Those alpaca, they're such odd creatures. I really enjoy them. A, because they're so cute. I mean, those eyes and everything are just pretty magical. People literally, we're on a pretty main road, and so people drive in all the time, slow down, take pictures, pull over. It's pretty cute. The alpaca usually, at least one of them will wander up to let them take nice pictures. And they don't demand a lot of us, which is lovely. Our sheep don't either, you know, they're pretty, you know, they could do with or without us. The alpaca really could do without us for the most part, other than they want to have their kibble at the same time every day. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed all the videos. Run over to the website, sign up for the newsletter, please. If you haven't, I promise I don't harass you, and I try to keep it with fun content and helpful tips. And also you get to know first dibs on fibers that are showing up in the online shop. So, all right, until next time, be healthy, goodness gracious. I swear, each time I see you guys, I'm like, good luck with that, good luck. But try to stay healthy, be kind to your neighbor, and make so many pretty things. I'll see you soon, and thank you so much for watching.